simple technical analysis. You see what I'm saying here, guys? Like, I can teach you so much about these markets, right? I've got a wealth of knowledge about technical analysis and trading these markets and the patterns of understanding. And when you start to identify this, I'm giving you like a bit of a masterclass today. Is it okay if I give you a masterclass today? I'm masterclassed in this, I was going to swear, this market up today, right? I'm giving you a masterclass today. What is the masterclass? Firstly, don't trade against the trend. Secondly, don't try to pick tops and bottoms. Thirdly, go with the markets. Fourthly, look for markets that's been doing nothing for a few years. If you're looking to identify a good trading opportunity that's likely to last for maybe a good couple of months to maybe 6 to 12 months, right? Also keep an eye on that weekly trend analysis, right? Because the weekly trend is still intact, you can actually go there. Sixthly, is that whenever looking at all markets, whenever we do get a big correction, keep an eye on that long-term weekly chart, because if the long-term weekly chart is still in a very strong upturn, there's a really good high level probability that we're likely to find a big level of support. So let's go. Don't place a trade based on what you're seeing in this video, because there is no guarantees of making a profit in the market. It takes you a long time to become a good trader. So this video here is just to educate you to become a much better trader. Alrighty, traders, so let's get straight into the market update today. So one of the first things I'm noticing when it comes to the S&P 500 is I'm noticing that there is it's a very volatile time right now. And so therefore, even though we've actually got a very, very, very strong bounce. So on the S&P 500, we can see we had this very strong movement on the downside. But now, as you can see, we're getting a very strong movement on the upside. This is a classic V bottom, obviously a V bottom action, right? Now, one of the things that we tend to get after these V bottoms is we tend to get a little bit of a correction and then a continuation of the overall trend, right? So what tends to happen quite a bit of times is that we end up having the move down, we have the move back up, then we get a little bit of a correction from here, and then we continue back up from there. So when looking at the markets right now, I wouldn't be too surprised to see if we did get a bit of a softening period out of this market right now from here. So I'm just looking at the last couple of times we've actually gotten a V bottom action. Yeah, so I'm probably looking at the COVID situation is not the main situation there. But we can just see that I'm just looking at V bottom actions from here. There's a couple of big V bottoms here as well. Yeah, so movement on the downside, a movement on the upside. So I wouldn't be too surprised to see this thing possibly even have a bit of a movement on the downside. So if I zoom into the last 6 months worth of data, my last 6 months, we can see we've had this movement. We had this movement up. And so now what I'm looking at is there's a possible, so we have this area all through here. I'm just trying to see if there's anything going on through there, possibly through there as well. Again, I'm just looking at the charts right now. And we can see that, yeah, so even though we had this big V bottom through here, one thing I'm just trying to see if there's any support or resistance, long-term support or resistance lines coming into play. A big V bottom through here. So what tends to happen with these V bottoms is, again, we tend to get this little movement on the downside from here, and then we continue back up from there. So I wouldn't be too surprised, guys, to see that. Now, I don't know if it's going to happen now or whenever that happens. This could be a very, very, very strong move, and we may not even get to the upside. I wouldn't try to look to short this market right now. I definitely wouldn't want to short the market back down here. Like I know one person did. One person lost almost $1 million shorting it down here. And so yeah. Anyway, so we could see that we could see through there. And so the one thing I'm watching for right now is I'm watching to see what actually happens through here, right? So we're at this level of short-term level of resistance. Do we get that little backing pattern first and then a continuation? Either way, I do see a lot higher prices. It's just how those lot higher prices happen. Do we continue going straight up, or do we get a pullback and continue straight up? The end of the story is we're probably likely to be continuing back up again on the good old S&P 500 there. Let's go look at the Nasdaq 100. And one of the things I was really watching for on the Nasdaq 100, you can see here, right? Like this support level through here, support level through here, and then we have this support level all through here as well too. So we have these major levels of support, the major level of support, and I was wondering, like, will this actually hold and start to bounce up? And so therefore what ended up happening was we came down through here, we held the support line, and then we came back to the upside. So that was telling me that we're possibly likely to start to find a bit of support level, and now we're rallying back to the upside. So the really big and key interesting thing I'm seeing right now is that for you bears, for you guys that are totally bearish this market right now, which there's no evidence or no rhyme or reasons why you be bearish this market right now. Again, if you're a trader of these markets, the trend is your friend until the end, and the trend is still up. So therefore, if you're a bear this market and you're a trader of the markets, you never fight the market, right? Never, ever fight the market. Now, for you bears out there that say, yes, the top's in and this is a sucker rally and it's going to go down and the big crash is going to happen, okay? If that is you, you're probably still you're probably still short from down here, and you hope it's going to roll over. You're probably doing a bit of a nugget in your pants right now. Okay. Just remember, guys. What's that weekly chart? Up, right? Don't be fighting this market. Anyway, so for you bears out there that are saying, yes, the top's in, and we're going to go through we're going to start the recession, and therefore the market's going to go down, right? Bear with me for a minute, okay? Bear with me for a minute. Are we going to start? No, I want you to think about what, if that's your thesis around the markets. Firstly, technical. If you're a trader, we trade on technical analysis, right? That's what we do, because we're looking to get in today. We're looking to get out tomorrow, or out next week, or out a few weeks from now, right? We're using technical analysis. You can't use a fundamental of what you think. All right, or recession's coming, so therefore markets are going to crash, right? So we use the technical. Let's focus on the technical. The next thing I do say about that is that who said we're not in a recession already? Who said the recession hasn't already started? We could be in a recession right now. The recession could have started last month. Hang on a minute, John. Are you saying that we could already be in a recession and the market's going up? That doesn't make sense. See what I'm saying here, right? So if your rhyme or reason is we're going to go into a recession and the market's going to crash, we may be in one right now, right? Maybe 2 or 3 months down the road, they're going to say, oh yeah, it started 6 months ago. And you're like, we've been in a recession this whole time and the market's been going up. See what I'm saying here, right? So if your rhyme or reason is I'm a bear because we're going to go into a recession and the market's going to crash, what do you say right now if we're already in one right now? They just don't qualify it until later on, right? It's not until we start to get some really bad reports like, oh yeah, we started the recession back 6 months ago. So never trade based off what you think is going to come, right? The number one thing is the chart. So we can see here movement on the downside and then a big movement on the upside from there. If we are going to start to see this thing roll over, if it's going to be something massive, if it's going to turn into something more, we will start to get one simple pattern. And what is that? That is a downward trend. What is a downward trend? A lower high breaking past previous lows. And until we get that, the trend is your friend until the end. And the trend right now is totally solidly to the upside. Totally solidly to the upside, right? So what am I talking about here? If this is going to morph into a massive head and shoulder formation, is this going to be a massive head and shoulder formation? We don't know, right? Right now, what I do know is that the trend's up and people that try to short this dip is getting ripped right now. Big ripped right now, okay? So, my thoughts are nothing. This is what the chart's doing. Okay, cool. Now, if this starts to form into something else, this is the if scenarios, right? For you bears like, oh, he said it's going to form into a big head and shoulders. No, right? That's what you want to hear. If you're short this market right now, and you want to hear say, oh, it's going to be a big head and shoulder formation and we're going to crash. No. There's a massive probability that we're just going to continue this upward trend here. All right. We're in a big upward trend here. But if this is going to be the top in the market, what will we start to see? We will start to see what? We will start to see this shoulder, this head, and we'll start to see this, and then we'll start to see a lower high, and then we'll break these lows. We'll come down through here and we'll break that low. If we do get something like that, yes, then you bears have a case that the tops in the markets, and it doesn't matter what I think or what I hope for, then we're probably likely to see a really big drop from there. Yes. But look at that. That's probably, if that forms in the market, it's going to take a long time. You can never get the exact high or the exact low. I always say get the meat, right? So if I say, if you look at the start of a move, right? If you look, say this is the bottom through here, and then it does this, and then it does that. Right? If we're seeing that in the markets, we never can predict the exact high. We can never predict the exact low. But what we want to do is we want to get the really high probability. So we want to get the meat and potatoes. We want to get that bit through there, right? We're not trying to go short here. Why? Because 9 times out of 10, you're going to be wrong. Because guess what's going to happen 9 times out of 10? It's going to go up. And right? Let's do this here again. So let's just say, for example, the market flattened out and we started upward trend, and then you started going short through here. It's like, oh, the market's going to crash now. Oh, and then it goes back up again. Oh, the market's going to crash. Oh, it goes up again. Oh, the market's going to crash. It goes up again. Oh, the market's going to crash. And this one goes down. Right? So as this market's been going up, you've been trying to go against the market. What you think, recession, PPI, let's go. Right? And what ends up happening? You end up getting destroyed, right? You end up getting absolutely destroyed across these markets because you're just you're just fighting the markets, right? We don't want to fight the markets. If you actually want to make money with trading, make it easy on yourself. Think about the way you're approaching these markets. If you're looking for tops in the markets every single day, like you might be looking for a top right now in the markets. If that's your approach through the entire trading year and your rest of your life is to look for tops in markets, right? Then guess what? You're going to be wrong 7, 8 times out of 10. Why? Because 7, 8 times out of 10, it's not going to form a top and it's going to make a new high. Just like we've seen for the last 2 years. So why not flip it on its head, make your life much easier and go with the markets. And when the market starts to say we're topping out, which is what? We actually break, when we have a significant low broken, that's when the trend has ended. And until then, guys, just go with it. You'll be much more successful. There'll be a lot less stress and you'll be a lot more happier and you're probably going to make a lot more money, right? So whenever we break that low. So that's what's happening through there on the good old Nasdaq, right? Nasdaq through there. Let's look at good old Dow Jones. Dow Jones is still in a very, very, very strong upward trend, right? Look at this here. Let's go back to our good old weekly charts. Weekly, look what's happening through here. Low, higher low, higher low, and higher low. And now we're pushing to the upside. So especially this, I see the Dow Jones making really big moves, actually. Really, really, really big moves. And the reason why is because we did nothing, right? Whenever the market does these basing, and this, I love these. I love when the market bases out for a while, right? Because when it does that, when the market, if you want to capitalize on big moves, right? Look for this pattern here, right? Look for when the market just does nothing, and in this case, for a few years. And then when it breaks out, guess what? It starts to trend. We do nothing for a while, we go for a big move. Look at this here. It did nothing for all this time, and now we're actually breaking to the upside, right? So it's just the pattern to look out for, right? So if you're ever looking to jump on a big move, potentially for a year or more, look for a couple of years of doing nothing. And then as it starts to break out, especially if it's going with the overall markets, right? As it starts to break out after doing nothing for 2 years, you could expect a good 1 to 2 years of good, solid upward movement. If you look this works on individual stocks, right? So just look for these patterns. And especially if we get this thing down here. Notice how we have the sideways and then it breaks to the upside, it comes down and then we start to bounce up through there. If you see that pattern, That's the number one trading pattern on the planet, I promise you. The big issue with that is that, as you can see, it takes 2 years to form. But it takes 2 years to form on this particular market. Call it the Dow Jones, call it whatever. It doesn't matter. But when it does form, it takes a while for it to form. It takes a long time for it to form. But after that, when you do get in, you could expect a really, really, really big move for a good 12 months from there, right? And the market does that. So therefore, we're seeing this here right now. I do see the Dow Jones making a lot more upside to come from there. So, and now we're just getting a very strong bounce from here as well too. So possibly there's a bit of a gap here. So we possibly kind of come down and fill this gap through here. A little bit of short-term weakness, and then we're going to like to see a ricochet rabbit to the upside from there. And also, let's go look at the Russell, right? So remember I said before about basing out patterns and stuff like that. Look at this here. Look at this here. What has the Russell been doing all this time through here? Pretty much nothing, right? So what do you like? The Russell's doing this right now. I've talked about this I just use an analogy of things in the past that, oh, look, when it goes sideways, it breaks out, have a big move. Yeah, John. Yeah, that's hindsight 2020. Yeah, Russell is not hindsight 2020. Russell is what's happening today. What is happening today? Exact same thing. It went sideways for a long time. Right? Sideways, as you can see, all that sideways period. And if we're looking at possibly a bit more of a, right, we definitely went sideways all through there, didn't we? All through there. And then look what happened. We broke out. Now we're holding through here. We're probably likely to start to see something like this out of the Russell, right? So Russell right now, that what I mentioned to you before in the past was hindsight 2020. Yeah, John, I can see that. I can see how I could have made money. Hello? Hello? Ding, 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 ding. Russell. Now, with what I just said there, things take time, right? I'm looking at the Russell weekly chart. Things take time. It's not like, this week we're going to be at, 250 on the IWM, right? No, things take time. Let's actually bring this down to a really good sort of time phase from here, right? Understand, but the projection now for the next 6 to 12 months on the Russell is very, 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 very high because guess what? We've done nothing for a long time. So they're the markets I want to be part of. Why? Rewind the tape 1 minute ago and go check out those patterns where the market does nothing for a long time. Then we'll be able to see, what's going on from there. So now what I want to do is I want to get into the silver and gold. But first, I got a bit of a gift for you. Okay? Bit of a free gift for you. Remember the way these markets operate, right? Remember I said just then, right? What did I say? When the markets go sideways for a long time, we're never going to break out and start a good trend. Did you hear what I just said there? I didn't say if the CPI is doing this and the RSI is doing this and the stochastic's doing this and JP Morgan's doing this and Jamie Dimon said this and Warren Buffett's doing this and so therefore see what I'm saying here, right? You're probably doing that right now, right? You're probably, if that happens and this happens and therefore I'm going to do this, right? Don't complicate it. What did I just say? When the market goes when the market goes sideways for a long extended period of time, there's going to come a point in time when especially if it's to happen for a couple of years, we're going to break out and start the trend on that particular stock, market, crypto, commodity, whatever. They all operate the same way. And when we do, we can look for really good trading opportunities, right? So the same is for when we start to get really big squeezing up patterns. And what am I talking about here? Bit of a gift for you guys right now. What is that gift? Ooh, USO. Look at the USO. What's the USO been doing? Can everyone say absolutely no? Right? Look at this here. For 2022, we've done what? Even if we take off this here. Look at all that sideways movement. What did I just say to you guys in the last 5 minutes? Do you see what I'm saying here? So when you start to really understand the power of what I talk about here, you can really simplify it down to some simple concepts that when we start to identify these markets that's not doing anything for a while, we're inevitably going to break out and start a good trend. When's the best time to get into the markets? When it's already made a big move, or when there's potentially going to be a big breakout and start the move? I think the latter, right? When we're likely to break out and start to make a big move. So as we can see, but what I also can see is, look at this through here. We've been in this triangle pattern, or you could possibly even say it's more through there. Yeah, that'll be the one. There she is. Where is she? Right through there. Right, somewhere through there. Look at that. Isn't she just beautiful? Isn't this just the most beautiful thing you've ever seen? Right? So there's a lot of markets out there, guys, that, and I don't know where it's going to break, but I'm waiting for, this is now the foundations. Now I'm looking for my trading setup and so on and so forth. But for you guys, right, if you're spending 20 hours of your time on completely useless crap, which is what? Oh, the inverted yield curve. It's recession's coming. And you know, me, I'm like, I'm gonna go look at markets that's doing nothing for a couple of years. Because when we do break out, there's a possible opportunity to make a lot of money. Right? You want to make 6 figures a year? You can potentially make 6 figures in one trade over the course of a couple of months, just by the identification of what I'm talking about here, right? Simple. As you can see, this is just simple stuff. And what is that once again? When the market does nothing for quite some time, and nothing never seems to faze me now with these markets, guys. Nothing for quite some time, big move. Nothing for a long time, guess what's coming? Now, I don't know where the breakout's going to be, right? But what I do know is when we do start to break out, we're likely to be developing a big trend. And when you start to overlay things like options, which I love to trade, and if you want some help with that, link in the description, you can apply for my coaching. You can really start to ratchet up, start the multiple 100% return potentially. Even I've had trades in the past that's done up to, I think my most successful trade was about 1,200% return in 4 weeks. Let me say that again. If you have a $100,000 trading account, and you put in $10,000 into a trade with options, you put 10% of your account in the markets, and you do 1,000% return in 4 weeks, you've just made 100 grand. What if you only did 500% return? You just made 50 grand. 50 grand. And all you had to do was look for what? When the market's doing nothing for a while, and then when it does start to eventually break out, we're likely to make a big move, right? But there's no guarantees, is there, right? That's why we have good risk management. But do you see what I look for? You see what I'm ideally looking for that. So there's a bit of a gift for you guys, right? Take it, run with it. But there's so much about these markets that if you just remove everything from the screen and look at the market from as is and understand this is just one of the most powerful. This is one of the setups that I look for. But it's just understanding how these markets operate on a deeper level by utilizing this, by utilizing good trend analysis and understanding the phases and so on and so forth. You guys can crush it. Moving on now to gold and silver, right? So silver right now is getting a very, very strong bounce from here. This could be the start of a very big move. Very, 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 very big move out of silver. And the reason why I say that is because, as you can see, silver's actually come back down to this level through here. So we did have this support and resistance level all through here in the past. That's also a 50% Fibonacci level. Low to high, 50% Fibonacci, and now we're actually holding here. So we could be getting ready for a really big move out of silver. And this is a 50. If we do start to hold here and really start to break up above new highs, whoo, man, that actually could be quite a big move from there. Yeah, look at that, right? So what's the trend here? What's the trend? Haha, low, high, low, high, low, high, low, and now it's just making another high, low, right? So it's up and it's down, and now we're gonna go back up again, right? Simple analysis, right? Not what's the supply and demand, and Russia's buying a lot of silver right now. Who cares? Oh, the trend. Oh, there you go. Cool. All right, I'm gonna go to the gym now. That's all I need to do. No need for me to spend 54 hours looking at the commitment traders reporting, all that sort of crap. No, keep it simple, guys. Keep it simple, right? Or you can keep complicating it and you're probably going to lose more money. Okay? I'm just trying to help you guys, right? 20 years to figure out this shit, guys. I'm trying to help you guys out. And this is the reason why I've been saying with gold, especially gold, I've been saying gold is likely to make another big move. Why? Why did I say gold is likely to make another big move? Because we're doing a basing out pattern again, right? Why did gold have a big move in the first place this year? Oh, look at this. Look at that. Look at that, really doing nothing, right? And have a big move. Oh, John, it's one of those patterns. It's one of those, nothing for a while and then something for a while. Oh, John, forget the moving average, right? Do you see how I it? Right? Anyway, but why do I expect so much more upward movement? Because if we zoom right out, and again, forget the moving average, what have we done for a couple of years? The theme of this video, when nothing happens for a while, big moves happen. And when that happens, all we have to do is identify the nothing happening for a while, especially when it does nothing for a good couple of years, and then we start to break out. We're starting a really good trend. If you're looking for big moves, we want to get in at the start of a good big move. How do we identify a big move when it's done nothing for a couple of years? USO. The reason why I traded gold at the start of the year and I made 400% return with me and my private clients, and I did all that live, again, if you want some help, you see what I'm saying here, right? If you are going down this rabbit hole right now, and you are looking at the stochastic and an RSI, all I'm looking for is what? Oh, look at this here. Oh, we did nothing for quite some time. Oh, look at this here. Gold did nothing. And then guess what? And then we started to go low, higher, low. We started developing and we had a really big move here. Nothing for a while, really big up leg for a while. Nothing for a while, really big up leg for a while. You see what I'm saying here, guys? And again, this is just one of the concepts that I understand. But when you want to start to understand these markets on a deeper level, not the surface level crap. Surface level crap is, what's the stochastic saying? Who cares? If you want to be able to identify a trading opportunity that's likely to make a big move, maybe over the course of a couple of months, or maybe even the course over 12 months, what do we look for to be able to get into, even if you're just looking to buy a stock for a good couple of years? See what I'm saying here, right? Aha! I hope you can see the reason why that once you start to unfold this here, we can remove a lot of the crap that, like, CPI means nothing with what I just said there. PPI, let's go. Recession. Japan. By the way, if you've seen the Japan market's actually had another big bounce. So all the people that Japan crash, yeah, massive rebound. You see the Japan market? The Japan market's had a massive move to the upside. Let me show you here, right? Right? Japan has actually had a really, really, really big move to the upside. Let's go show you. Let me go show you. Where are we here? This is where, guys, nothing seems to amaze me about these markets. Again, guys, if you really want the truth about these markets, you want to be able to simplify your process and actually start to make some really good headway, so you can start to really understand these levels this on a foundational level to actually really start to get ahead in the markets and remove all the other crap that just doesn't serve you and start to become a master out of a handful of things, I'm your guy. You should join my coaching program. Yes, I'm plugging my coaching program because if you're with me every day doing this shit and you see what I'm doing, you'll be able to identify opportunities that make big moves as well too. Don't complicate it, right? But see what I do? What am I doing right now? What's this market doing? What did gold do? The reason why I had a really good trading opportunity with gold is not because I love gold. No, it's because gold was standing up with the pattern. Now, USO the thing right now, right? The energy sector is another. There's so much opportunity out there right now, guys. Anyway, but if you don't understand this stuff and you're focusing on all the wrong things, guess what? You are going down the path of not be able to because you're not educated around what I'm saying here on a deeper level. You're missing so much opportunity, right? And you're getting in way too late. It's actually not that complicated, right? Hey traders! Hey, what is this? Is the Nikkei future here, right? The Nikkei future. Look at this. What is this? This is what? Nothing for a long time. Ooh. And then we had this thing. Right, big move to the upside. This is weekly chart. Right, the weekly chart. And then look what happened. Look what happened. Is this the Japan market? Let's go look at Japan. Let's see if I can bring up the Japan. Yeah, there we go. That's better. There she is. That's what she wrote. Oh, traders. The theme of theme of this video today is what? When nothing happens for a few years. Look at that move to the upside. Why did we get such a big move to the upside? So what do? I'm searching. I gave you a gift today. What is that? USO. You know, there's actually many more markets out there right now that's been doing nothing for a few years, and now we're just starting to develop an upward trend. Right? So you guys are really complicating the issue, trying to pick tops in the markets and going against the market and trying to short the market and going down this fundamental rabbit hole about what the Fed's going to do. I'm just like, have we done nothing for a few years? Okay, cool. I need to keep an eye on this market because over the next month, there could be a good breakout. When it breaks out, there could be a big move for a 12-month period. And when that happens, I make a lot of money. And then I spend, a couple hours in the market. Anyway, you see what this market's done? Look at this here, Japan market. Right, this is where we never want to get sucked in, right? Don't get sucked in by the short-term movement here. Right? Again, traders, it's taken me 20 years to really get to the truth of trading these markets, right? Long-term buy and hold investing is that's different. No. If you're looking to trade the market to make money this year, so you can have a yearly income from the markets, I'm your man, right? You don't make good yearly income from looking at balance sheets and PE ratios and stuff like that. My goodness, right? Anyway, look what happened to the Japan market, right? Which is the FTSE, right? Big move down, a big move up. I wonder why that happened. You know, nothing seems to faze me anymore, guys. Look at this here. Why did we get a strong bounce from here? Why did this? I just love this. Why did we hold support here and bounce up? I wonder what's happening on that weekly chart. You guys have watched my videos for the last few days. You know what I'm talking about here, right? What do I say? Keep an eye on the weekly chart. Why? Because it's king. Support. Tell me that's not a quinky dink. What a quinky dink. Put in the chat box quinky dink. How do you even spell quinky dink? Look at where it bounced right here. But this is where a big mistake a lot of traders make. If they're focusing so much on the last couple months and they're focusing on this here, they're not seeing what? They're not seeing, there's a major level of support coming through here real soon. Nothing seems to face me anymore with these markets, guys. And what is our job? Our job is just to step back and not be so emotionally ingrained with what's happening on the big radical movements. Step back to look for opportunities, right? This happens so much in the markets. Right? When the market's having a big pullback, it'll pull back to a long-term level of support on that weekly chart, and then we get the bounce. Amazon did the exact same thing. Look at this. Woo! Look at Amazon. For the last few years, since bottom of 2023, support. Look where Amazon bounced. But if you were focusing on Amazon like this level here, you'd be looking at it like, you won't understand why it actually bounced here. Why did it bounce here? Simple technical analysis. You see what I'm saying here, guys? Like, I can teach you so much about these markets, right? I've got a wealth of knowledge about technical analysis and trading these markets and the patterns of understanding. And when you start to identify this, I'm giving you like a bit of a masterclass today. Is it okay if I give you a masterclass today? I'm masterclassed in this, I was going to swear, this market up today, right? I'm giving you a masterclass today. What is the masterclass? Firstly, don't trade against the trend. Secondly, don't try to pick tops and bottoms. Thirdly, go with the markets. Fourthly, look for markets that's been doing nothing for a few years. If you're looking to identify a good trading opportunity that's likely to last for maybe a good couple of months to maybe 6 to 12 months, right? Also keep an eye on that weekly trend analysis, right? Because the weekly trend is still intact. You can actually go there. Sixthly, is that if you're whenever looking at all markets, whenever we do get a big correction, keep an eye on that long-term weekly chart, because if the long-term weekly chart is still in a very strong upturn, there's a really good high level probability that we're likely to find a big level of support. So let's go. Right? That's masterclass for you guys. Masterclass. Anyway, so we can see that through there, right? And so let's go a quick look at the GDX. The GDX is really starting to push to the upside. Again, the big thing about the GDX and also the GDXJ is, guess what? What am I going to say, guys? Look at this here. Like, can you imagine what's going to when this market here does make the big move, right? When this market does make a big move like this, when this thing does make a big move, what do you think is coming out of the GDXJ? What did I say? What have I said all through this video? When the market does something, when the market does nothing for a couple of years, you'd expect what? Maybe a good 6 to 12 months of a good bull move. What happens when the market does nothing for 10 years? I can't hear you. Golden nugget, nugget, right? Golden nugget. Now, as you can see, what am I doing here? Simplify the process. When we simplify the process of understanding fundamentals of how these markets really operate on a fundamental level, and you start to overlay these simple analysis of what we're talking about here, you start to see how these markets operate and how we can look for opportunities that's likely to make a big move. Why have I been so bullish the mining sector, and especially the GDXJ? Right? Especially for the last few years, I've been so bullish on it. I've been so bullish on it because, again, I see once it does start to really break up and we start to get back above that 60 level, what do you think is coming? And a massive move for at least a few years, right? A massive move for at least a few years. Why? A simple analysis, right? Nothing to do with the stochastic, nothing to do with the moving averages, nothing to do with nothing. Nothing to do with the commitment traders report or this or that. No. This one market right now has been doing nothing for a good few years, so therefore we're likely to get a good 6 to 12 months out of that. I've shown you that in this video. I've given you many examples, and I've given you some gifts about what's happening right now, so you can identify so once we do start to get a breakout, we can identify some really good opportunities. And also, I'm showing you an opportunity right now that could be one of the greatest wealth building opportunities for you in the lifetime, because we've done nothing not for a few years, but nothing for 10 years. And when that breaks out, guess what comes? I can't hear you. One of the greatest opportunities we've seen underneath our belt right now. But what I said there, that takes time, right? When we see good moves for a good few years or more, and a very big bull market for a few years, it's stair-step, but it takes time. But we're looking to identify opportunities. That's why I personally am very bullish on the GDXJ. Has nothing to do with future cash flows and balance sheets and PE ratios and what the government's doing and Russia's buying. Whoa! Bring it back, baby. Bring it back. Anyway, guys, that's it for me today. If you like what you see here right now, guys, link in the description. Apply for my coaching if you do need some real good help to really get your analysis and your trading on track. And until then, I'll speak to you guys real soon.